man. shell toes. Who the still? If I gotta pay to get in the club, I'ma go pop the trunk and turn the street volume up to 10. I ain't on the guest list, I ain't VIP. I snuck in the exit, learning DIP. My dress code is all black when I'm making the moves, similar to the new PlayStation 2. I can't help it if the club only packing a G, and the fire marshal wanna shut it down at 3. And you ballin', dressed to kill, but I'm showing the toes with extra heels. I gotta get in, I drove here with a car loaded, charged on Belvedere. My hit the cells that the line is thick, so I drive the 500 through the door. If you cover this one in your truck, let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. And you really don't give a what. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. Everybody get your hands up. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. You ain't come to party, shut up. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Yo, security patting my legs and waist, but if I vacate the place, it'll be. All my in the huddle, on the count of 3, we're gonna bum rush the tunnel with a pound of. Cut the light on, you see it's Brick City in here. Blazing like Biggie passed us a Simeon here. Don't sleep, stay wide awoke. You dial dot, not dial a joke. Crawling, you die in smoke. I keep it heated when the hawk is out. Seated low Tahoe, beat it when the dark is out. I'm outside of the line and I'm acting a fool, like a 3 o'clock bully waiting after school. I've been in this line for hours. I even killed the time by helping my man pass out flyers. Now all I wanna do is get in where I fit in. Shake my with the baddest pigeon with a wig in. Jump, move, crash, break, shake down, stay. Yo, Papa Bear at the table, and the porridge is poured. Since death is the label, I belong in the morgue. I'm walking half dead at the sea now, with bigger from jail than the one on Green Mile. I'll huff and puff, blow the club down. I'll snuff a duck, I'm headed uptown. Yeah, that's right, we up in this joint now. Hey yo, we get ready to take over. Man, you grab the mic, I'ma grab the turntables. We gon' rock this joint, boy. If you got them in the club free, let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. And you drunk up in the VIP, let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. If you swinging from them club lights, let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. And you like to start the club fight, let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Everybody wave your hands now. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. Everybody jump up and down. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. Everybody keep it going now. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. Just a little bit louder now. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty. Come on, come on. Let's get dirty. Let's get dirty. Keep it going now. Let's get dirty. Don't stop now. Let's get dirty. Say let's get dirty, yo. Let's get dirty.
Let's get a mic check. Let's get a mic check. Who with me? I won't be here long. Look, the reason why I played the first song, I gotta get away, is because I gotta get away. Your man, I've just been working a lot lately, and how we sounded on the microphone, Donnie. You normally say mic is nice, mic is slow, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. You my mic check. It says, come on, let's go, let's get it. I won't be here long today. I am a text away from my wife saying, put the last bag in the car, let's go. All right. I am driving. We're gonna thank you, DH. Thank you, bro. And that don't mean designated hitter. That means my brother David Herring. What's good with you today, brother? Thank you for being here. Yeah, short show, man. I promise you it's gonna be a short. I'm gonna hit it and quit it. It's Friday, so I can say some wild shit and then I can bounce. And I'll just listen to the reactions, or I'll read the reactions that people will have over some of the things I may say today. I don't know. Usually when I play that type of music, let's get dirty, I usually have some dirt. I don't really have dirt today. And when I mean dirt, I mean, dirty conversations, not messy, not nasty. It's just conversations that people just generally don't really want to have. You know what I'm saying? Just really, they really don't want to have. So that's what I call dirty. I don't necessarily like to be that messy guy. I kind of wish I would have never said anything the other day about two grown ass men's conversations and how they doing things. I probably should have never got entwined in that. But there was some things that I found very familiar with what my brother, what he was going through. I don't have that issue. because of course I've never worked in those arenas and those areas of radio and podcast and all that old shit. This is rec for me. So I don't really, I don't, what I say I mean, and what I say I'm serious about, but I don't really take too many people who have a problem with what I say. I don't really take them that serious. It's not that big of a deal for me because I don't let people. The only time I do, I'll be honest, is if they say some things that I know they're targeting, and it can be financial. It can hit me financially, and I know you intentionally doing some shit like that. Then I got to be who I am. You know what I'm saying? Then I got to go somewhere else with it. But it's been all right. I ain't tripping on nothing like that so far. Mama Birch, I'm gonna stop the show right now. Okay? I'm gonna stop the show right this second. This conversation is now over because Mama Birch has entered the building. The reason why I'm stopping the show today, and then I'll get back to what I'm doing. Um, Yesterday I was not here. I told you guys I wouldn't be here. I had an appointment. I had something that a very serious situation I needed to take care of. I needed to close a situation, close a deal. And that situation went well. Maybe one day I'll share that. But it called for me not to be here yesterday. And okay, Roz. I'm out of it, brother. I'm out of it. You should know why I'm out of it. I ain't built like that. I told E a long time ago, you better than me, bro. I wouldn't have said shit about it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know if you better watch them quiet boys. Not choir, quiet. Better watch them guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, so Roz, leave that alone with me because I mess around and say all the wrong things and it'll open up a can of worms all over again. And I really don't want to do that, guys. I'm not that guy. Y'all know this show is not really that show. I'm not that, I'm not the guy who calls the names and pick fights with people. I don't really do that. But that all being said, yesterday was a day that I was off and it was Mama Birch's birthday. And you know what? I felt so bad. Now I reached out, like I sent the post of happy birthday and I said some things, happy birthday. And then I seen her and my brother Darnell went to what is the place called that Lando has? Something to whine about. I see y'all tore it up in there. Y'all had on your little leather outfits and shit. And y'all sedity now, Mama Birch. Y'all ain't never see my brother Darnell. Y'all know we was all broke. I mean, Darnell just started wearing leather like 10 years ago. 20 maybe. I don't know. But see, like, y'all sedity now. Y'all done made it. You done went from the hood to wearing brims and leather outfits and nice clothes and shit. Everybody got on the expensive cologne and perfume. I'm super proud of my people that I grew up with. But boy, look, Mama, we made it. Mama Birch, we made it. I see you and Darnell on that picture, and I was like, damn, because Darnell, a sharp dude. Like, we look alike. No, I'm just playing. But no, like he's a sharp man. I don't have no problems giving brothers they props. Even though me and him cool, we, from Sandbox, he's a sharp dude. You feel me? And I love to see my brothers clean up. I love to, I love to see when we get that way, especially when we taking our mamas out for the birthday and things of that nature. So happy birthday to you, Mama Birch. Happy birthday to you and your sedity ass from you said $400 hats. Yeah, I know. That's $400 a piece, not no 400 for the two of them. I know Darnell spending at least $75, $80 for one of them cigars. I know. I spend money with him. So happy birthday to you, Mama Birch. Like you've been in my life since I can remember. No need to share any of those stories. Usually when you come over here with your birthday, I tend to what do they call it? Roast you or roast you and then toast you. I tend to do that to the people that I love. I tell a story of remember that one time. I always do that, but I'm gonna leave you alone on this one unless you really want me to serve you one. I will serve you one because I got a few. Carolyn Smith says, "What are you on YouTube?" I believe Wyatt Live. It's either Wyatt Live or Wyatt Live TV. I have a couple of different ones. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's Wyatt Live, Carolyn. Yeah, it says Wyatt Live, view on YouTube. So you can go over to YouTube and watch us. The first of the year, I'm going to be focusing more on YouTube anyway, because what I'm going to do, and I shouldn't say this right now, it's in the plans, it's in the workings. I was going to say it last week, so I'll just mention it now. How about that? First of the year, I'll be focusing on doing more of a national type of coverage of things. I know that's going to, so I'm going to have to change up. And what I mean by that is I'm going to have to stop talking to my homies so damn much because you know what, talking to Cincinnati all day, every day, it's getting to the point where I need to, good afternoon, elder. I have to get I have to be a little bit more diverse than what I talk about. That's how I feel. Like I could sit back and talk about Mama Burge, how it was when we in our neighborhoods and all that old stuff. I just really want to have more. I want to kind of go different places and do different things with my conversation. And because Cincinnati gonna be Cincinnati. Y'all didn't show me that with the elections. You didn't show me that with how we treat one another, how we do business with one another. The circle of Cincinnati will be the circle of Cincinnati. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's not necessarily a bad thing unless you're not in those circles. you know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, I just don't believe in being in a space where there's no diversity or no change. And when I'm in a bucket, and not necessarily a crab bucket, but when I'm in a bucket and I'm constantly running in a circle and I see that others are stepping on one another and, just not really working together, but working for the cause of individuals. And I don't mean for the people, individuals. I'm talking about I think this is why I don't associate myself with one particular party because I believe political parties, especially the politicians, benefit more than the people that they say they representing. And then they have these people under them that fight for those politicians. And you got to be cool with these politicians in order to fight for the shit that's benefiting these politicians because then they'll sprinkle you a little bit of privilege. See, that's how it works. There is no doubt in my mind that everybody that we praise for being some leader, they all get more money than everybody. They all in better positions than everybody. And that kind of sounds evil and mean, but it's true. It's true. I mean, you got to understand, if you're not done with government now watching Republicans and Democrats fight over bullshit and closing the government, and they're both trying to use the people and they don't care if the people eat, and one is blaming saying the other is the other, and y'all really, it's to me, it shows you that they're willing to sacrifice people in order to stay in their position. Both sides. Both sides. No one can call me and convince me that one side is better than the other side. You're watching it. And here's the nastiest freaking thing about it all. I don't care what politician tell you right now, well, I'm not getting my check. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Here's the nastiest thing in the world. You got all these government officials that are working. You got TSA. You got all these people that are working every day that are not receiving paychecks. But then the people who are making the stubborn decisions to not want to talk, not want to do this, not want to do that, they make more money than majority of the people that work in government, and they're getting their checks. I see. For me, I've never been a government dude. I've been around a lot of government in my life. I mean, you got to understand, my mother worked for the government. She was a G something. I don't remember. I think she retired she didn't even retire, but when she left, she was like a G8 or something. And, so I know a lot about how that functions and how government, people that get government checks. I'm talking about who actually work for the government, who actually do work. Those people actually depend on their paychecks. And I just think it's such a disservice to sit back and watch politicians shine in front of the fucking camera to act like they representing you and doing what's best for you and blah, 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 blah. And on Friday, today, November the 7th, they got direct deposits today. And there's a lot of government officials, government workers who did not get their deposits today. And that, to be honest with you, is bullshit. This is why we need less government. But here's my thing. I'll be honest with you. I've never fought against the government helping people out. Never. I think it's the best thing in the world as long as the money is done right. Just think about this. For all my right wing or Republican people. Why in the fuck are you mad that people are receiving assistance from the government in the United States of America when in fact we send so much money to other foreign countries, foreign lands, and it's subsidized housing and living for other people? But you're upset that it don't that we do the same thing for people in our own United States of America. I just don't understand why you got a problem with that. Why you have a problem? Look, if we can help families in Uganda, why can't we help families in Compton? Why can't we help? The only thing I don't like is when we become dependent on it. That's the only thing that I don't like. I think that that system has taken away a lot of dreams and potential from some people, because if you grow up depending on something or somebody, you don't use a lot of people don't fulfill their own dreams because they get caught up in a dependency. It's like trying to be a successful person and you're an alcoholic or addicted to drugs, even if you can afford it. There's some stars out there, and I hate to use stars, but there's regular people. But since we love stars so much, entertainers, entertainers are not at their best when they're doing drugs. Those drugs actually slow them down from being great. You see what I'm saying? So I just have a problem with us not wanting to assist people in America, but yet we're sending millions on top of millions of dollars to foreign land. And we'll complain about people sitting at home watching soap operas. I've been hearing that shit my whole entire life. We'll complain about somebody who want to sit home and watch soap operas or whatever they do with their time. We'll complain about that. But you don't even know the hundreds of millions of dollars that are being sent overseas somewhere. And it's doing a whole lot. Well, we say doing a lot more, which I would challenge that sometimes, because you don't really know where that money is going. I would say to you this, as a capitalist, I would rather have that money go to some people that's going to spend the money within the circle. We don't recoup anything sending money to Ukraine, sending money to all these different foreign lands. We don't recoup any of that money. None of them people ever going to get a check and spend any money with you. So at least if I was if I was an entrepreneur, which I am, but if I was in that process of thinking, I would say to myself, well, if people are going to start getting money for living on their own, out here getting subsidies, how can I get that money that they're going to spend? How many people do you know that get subsidies or get food stamps? I grew up on food stamps, not very long, but I grew up on food stamps and government cheese and all that old shit. How many of them do you think, how many people like us do you think had a bank full of money? How much money do you think my mom saved at the end of the day, at the end of the month? Y'all know that's a 30-day cycle. You get just enough to last for 30 days. So it's not like, they're getting a ton of money and they're able to bank it. So yeah, there's a few traps there. I understand all that, and there's it's just I just don't understand why people got a problem with people getting assistance. And I guess I can look at it from a Republican side and say, well, those people are getting assistance, but I'm paying for it. I get it. Great argument. Touche. I can't argue that. All right. But still, you're also paying for the money that's going overseas. You understand? You paying for Ukraine. You paying for all the money that's going over the shit that you don't know what's going on. You financing runway model. I don't know. They doing shit overseas we don't know nothing about. So start complaining a little bit about that too, and stop complaining so much about what people getting in the United States of America, because at least the money stays within the United States of America. All right. At least people, go open a store and benefit off the people that's spending the money. I got a small story to tell about that. Can I share it? Y'all know I'm a storyteller, but my stories be real because I wouldn't be able to make up a lot of shit, to be honest with you, because I got a lot of good stories that are real. In Cincinnati. This is crazy to me. I don't remember what did PNC Bank used to be called. Wasn't it Provident? Wasn't it Provident Bank way back in the day? Same color bank and stuff. You know what I mean? Same color combination. I think they changed the logo. But wasn't it Provident Bank? Somebody help me with that. I think it was Provident Bank. Now, my wife will be texting me here in a minute. We're driving to Miami, by the way. All right, we're gonna go to Miami for the weekend. It's time to get away. Yeah, I've had a long week of work and stressful work. Okay, so people are saying, yes, Provident Bank. Um, let me tell you how I changed my tune 2 decades ago. I went into Provident Bank one day and I was just doing my normal thing. I mean, this was so long ago. I was probably just putting in like little $50. Provident Bank was a bank that I used to save money. Like anytime I got a little extra money, I would always take I would always I have this 10% rule. I got this from going to church and learning what tithing was. I used to say to myself, shit, if I can tithe to the church, if we as people could tithe to a church, I could tithe to a damn bank account. I can put 10% in of whatever I make. So I used to do this little thing of putting a 10%. I called it a tithe. I know that's way off and I'm going to get some blowback from that, but that was me. That was my little thing that I did within my own mindset. I sat back 10% of anything I ever made. If I came up off an extra $100, I would put $10 in the bank. If I worked overtime on my job, that overtime check, if I wanted to blow it, I would blow it, but I would pull 10% off to the side, put it in it's PNC now, but put it in my Provident account. Well, I walked in there one day. Mr. Jones, Leroy Jones, actually took me up there. He was well known in that bank. He was the first one to ever teach me what a line of credit was. All right. So they used to love Mr. Jones. When during COVID, I had these stories that I used to tell you where when you walk in a bank, everybody should know you. All right, that's where I got that from. Mr. Jones would walk into that Provident Bank. Not to mention it was up on people's corner, so the whole staff was black. It was like a family type thing. He would send them pizza and cheese conies and stuff for lunch. He was just a really good guy when it came down to doing business and keeping people knowing him. So I learned those traits. So I go into Provident Bank at that time, Provident Bank, and we walk in there. And punk ass $30. I truly it was like $30 and cents. I was taking that in to put in 10%, my tithing account. When I got in there, I know y'all remember the PNC Bank, excuse me, Provident Bank on People's Corner, right? It was right on the corner up there as you got. And all these little stores was up there, the Chinese stores, the hair stores, the wig stores, all these little, the Italian restaurant across the street that had pizza and all these pubs and stuff. And I would go up there, we would go up there to, hang out and all that old shit too. But I was there on business. I went into the Provident Bank, made my deposit. Mr. Jones was with me. And lo and behold, I looked behind the counter and guess what they had like 3 cashiers, one at the window helping us with our deposits or whatever, our transactions. But they had two cashiers sitting in the back between the drive-through and the counter, that little counter that's in between. That whole table was full. This is how long ago it was, y'all, because we haven't seen food stamps in I don't know how long. That whole table was at least seven yards long. That entire table was full of food stamps, stacked up like dope money, stacked up in increments on top of each other, rubber band up. It was the brown ones for the dollars, it was the green for the 5, and it was the purple for I still remember. Y'all know I still remember. It was the green for the 10 and it was purple for they were all stacked up. They looked just like dollars. They were wrinkled, they were this, but they were put in uniform fashion, stacked up on top. And I mean, it was high. So I'm looking and I'm like, what the fuck? I have never seen that many food stamps in my life. I look at Mr. Jones. I said, Pops, what is going on with this? He says, son, you looking at the black community right there. I said, what? He said, see that money? That's money. That is money. Every food stamp is worth to these stores. Whatever increment is on that food stamp, it's worth that in dollars once they bring them here to the bank. I don't know if y'all noticed, but the stores, the restaurants, anybody that handled food stamps as a retailer, they deposited those just as if it was cash at a bank. I don't know why I know some people gonna trip out off of me saying that. Like, well, what else would they do with it? I never knew that. I didn't know what they did. I didn't know if there was a certain place that you took food stamp. Never thought of it. Never entered my mind. But what I got an opportunity to see was how much of the food stamps were actually going and depositing into the bank. And I seen all that bank, I call it bank. I seen all that money sitting on that back counter. And I'm saying to myself, that's when Mr. Jones told me that's our community. I didn't understand it at front. And I was too embarrassed to ask him, what do you mean? That's our community. I didn't ask him. I lived it out. I understood a little bit, let some time go by. And I found out that's all of our dollars. And it wasn't us making those deposits. It was the wig store over there. It was the sandwich shop over there. It was the deli. Y'all remember the deli up there on People's Corner? It was all those stores that were bringing in their deposits. But it wasn't us. But it was us spending. And that's when I started understanding the power of economics. Like, we got to get some of these dollars. I don't care if it's a food stamp. I got to figure a way to be able to bring some money into the bank, because I got to provide a need, or I got to provide a want for people. And that's just where my mindset was. It was crazy. I think what made this interesting for me was when I seen how much money the community was actually depositing, how much I shouldn't say the community, but how much the community was spending in these stores. That's right, Don. It was called Tasty Bird. I believe that was the deli that was up there. They made fresh sandwiches and deli sandwiches and all that stuff right there on People's Corner, and they shared the parking lot with with the Provident Bank. And I said to myself, man, I got to figure out a way. This is probably why I talk about the importance of us spending money and us collecting the money once we spend it. Because our community, that's the growth that I want to hear politicians talk about in the community. You know what? Once you start focusing in on bringing in economic growth and economic opportunity for our people, that'll solve some of your crime problems, because it makes people have to be better. When I heard an interview on the radio of the guy who owns, or the family that owns, the rib place. What is that? Is it the Boathouse, or is it the Jeff? It wasn't Jeff Ruby. It was Boathouse or the rib place. And I listened to his story, right? I listened to his story, and his story was about how his parents aligned all this up for him. He worked in the store. He learned how to operate the store. He worked the cash register. He swept the floors. He cleaned the bathrooms. He did all of that. Now, what's next for him? Now he's in position. I guess he's the general manager or the CEO of the Boathouse. That's what I would think. They say he's the owner. So I would think that he would position himself like that. But he has children as well. But I think that's probably why a lot of people don't understand why I go so hard when I talk about the economics. It was Montgomery Inn, Darnell. Montgomery Inn. Okay. I know it was, thank you, Brenda. It was Montgomery Inn. Yeah, I mean, I pay attention to little different things about those stories. What's more important to me is positioning. Thank you, AK-47, Montgomery Inn, she says. We always think that somebody just got something handed to them. That's not always the case. They still you got to put the work in to be successful. That's like me giving you a brand new car. I'll give it to you with a full tank of gas. You still have to keep up the maintenance, and you got to fill the tank up every time you run out. You got to take care of that car. You got to change the oil. You got to do a lot of things. So just because somebody give you something don't mean you can maintain it. you know, or you still have to put some work in. That all being said, man, you know, I seen how much money these banks were taking in off of, you know, uh, off of the community. And the crazy thing about that now, if you go back and look, and I don't know about y'all, but if you go back and look at some of the stores that started out in our neighborhoods, they're not there anymore. And I'm not talking about the Vince Martins. I'm talking about the foreign stores. They don't really want to be in our. As soon as they get an opportunity to get a BP gas station in Mason, Ohio, or you know, a larger flagship or somewhere else, they skirt. They don't want to be dealing with. They don't want to deal with the communities where they have to worry about getting robbed and arguing with people and selling one cigarette out of a pack and all that old shit. They really don't want to do that. So they will do it until they don't have to do it anymore, and they'll move on. If you notice, go out to the suburbs, look at those gas stations. They're not the filling stations that they used to be. They're foreign owned, and you know, they have people of different origins running those stores because that's who own it. They're not just in the hood anymore. They don't have to. Now, they starter kits are in the hood still. But I just, you know, I've watched the progression. That's stuff we should have been doing. And it burns me because I know we should have been doing it, but your leadership, you're not born knowing that. But proper leadership will put those type of things in the mix. But if leadership is in position to grow something, but they put themselves first, then you'll never get anything but what a little bit of the crumb. Let me go to the phone lines real fast, then I'll get to what I want to talk about for the day because I'm short on time. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Uh-oh, hold on one second, caller. Let me turn you up. Can you hear me, caller?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what's on your mind? Who am I speaking with?
This is Edsel, aka Ed Lover.
Got you. What's up, Ed Lover? What's up, Edsel?
Nothing. Just that, you know, y'all talking about food stamps and SNAP, and if I could be honest, that whole conversation just chaps my ass.
It always does, but how? Tell me how.
Because it's 2025, and we're still talking about food stamps, people on food stamps and stuff like that. That's why the black community, let alone individually, can't move forward, because we always got to reach back into some bullshit.
Well, you don't think there's a lesson learned in what I just said? Like, you don't think looking at your past could define where you are, and it tells a lot about the future?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, what do you
mean?
This
This food stamp stuff. This is stuff that we talked about in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
We talked about what part of it? I mean, what did
get your shit together so you ain't got to be on the government.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about right now.
I know you're not, but when I hear the food stamp, the hubbub over it about people, that's instantly what I think about. Like,
no, I hear you. I hear you. I understand what I agree with you. I understand your point. It all depends on who's delivering the message and what angle they coming from, because I could have probably said something a little bit different and in the direction of what you're talking about. But I think where I was going with it was the importance of collecting our own money in our communities, even if it's government subsidy. That government subsidy is a great thing for the economy, but we're missing that as us. We don't own those things that recover the money that of those subsidies. That's where I was going with it.
Perhaps, but you let the government into your business, into your life like that, there's always a drawback from that.
What do you
know what I'm saying? Whenever public funds get involved, they get access to you, unnecessary access to you. You know, they come in there and, you know, say your kids ain't living right. You got too many sugary cereals.
Are you talking
things
about
like that?
Are you talking about the recipients of the money, or are you talking about the
recipients? Yes.
Okay. I hear you. Well,
you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Finish, bro. My bad.
No, you were about to say something.
I was gonna say, well, yeah, that is one of the costs. You're right. Like, but I don't know if here. I don't know if that's always one of the reasons why they come knock on the door. Sometimes it's somebody in the community that ring the alarm on maybe the kids coming outside in the snow. They don't have no shoes on, or
Again,
all types of stuff.
again, you've let the government involved because you're accepting their money. So now they get to know your business.
But
somebody calls, and says your kids ain't coming out of school right. If you ain't on the government assistance, they got to go through a lot of hell and high water to find you and come harass you. But if you're on government assistance, they can be in your ass in 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, because, and I can see that. But at the same time, let's say that my wife and I have a young kid and we're not on government assistance, but the neighbor calls and says, or calls Jobs and Family Services. They could actually move
it's
on
gonna
us.
take a little time. It's gonna take a little more time for them to really get involved with you. If you're not on government assistance,
well,
because you're taking care of your own is no different than not being in a HUD housing complex.
Okay, I mean,
what I'm saying? You got your own crib, or you live in a private, or you're paying your own rent without the government aid. There's very much little they can do to you.
Well, I don't know about that. I think that you can catch a case. I don't know if Jobs and Family Service, or what is it? What is the one where they called 421 kids? I don't know. That's not Jobs and Family Services.
Just for argument's sake, Jobs and Family Services, JFS, child welfare, whatever you want to call it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't think they only investigate people that are on the system.
No, I'm saying they only. I just said it's a little bit harder for them to get at you.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I'm not saying you're lying, but I don't
know nobody who's ever got called 241 kids on that that wasn't on the system somehow.
Now, I think the people that may be in those systems, it's a circle. Like you gonna see them coming if you live in the Fae. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just in broad daylight in the Fae. But you don't know what they doing in the house in Western Hills or West Side. They somebody that may not be.
If the Fae got 199 apartments, how many of those are federally subsidized?
It's a high percentage, that's for sure.
I'd say 197 of them.
Well, I don't know if it's that high, but I mean, it may be. I don't know if that's necessarily okay. You might have a point there. And the reason why I said subsidy, I was thinking food stamps. Not everybody that's on subsidized housing is on food stamps. You see what I'm saying? Because
I mean, just on any type of government assistance, period, like that. Subsidized housing, food stamps, healthcare, whatever. Anything that they getting from you or that they giving to you. They got a right to come fuck with you.
Well, I hear you. And I think that it's something that we're familiar with because we're in those circles. You feel me? Like we got cousins and aunts and nieces, nephews, and we know how that stuff works. But we don't know how it works outside of our circles. There's people that get investigated that have money for child abuse and neglect of children. They really do. Now they might be able to fight it a little bit different. It's a little bit harder for those entities to deal with attorneys than it is a mother that's on ADC. What do they call, that's on welfare. She has, she is going to look, or whoever, they're going to look at those. They're going to look at those companies, the Jobs and Family Service people. They're very threatening because they control their destiny. They control their checks. So they have to stay in compliance. They have other rules to follow. By being on those subsidies, there's a whole lot of other rules those people have to follow outside of somebody that might not have receiving those subsidies. So,
prime example.
Okay.
Prime example. I only bring his name up because I heard he mentioned on either a podcast or radio the other day.
Okay.
Sam Malone, former council member Sam Malone.
Okay.
Former banker Sam Malone got charged with beating the hell out of his kids.
Okay.
One time. No mention of JFS all in his business. He went and fought his case, and it was over.
So
there was no mention of JFS or anybody from the county getting involved to see was he just a bad person other than that bogus criminal charge.
Well, let me ask you, Fame, honestly, do you know if JFS didn't go knock on his door and talk to him?
Given given the fact that at that time, real media covered real news, and given the fact that he was a popular black man in Cincinnati if JFS would have got involved, it would have been widely reported.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. That's an assumption. We're
You
assuming there.
now.
Well,
all right, okay.
No, I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to beat up your point. All I'm saying to you is, there may have been some. I don't see why Jobs and Family, or 241 kids wouldn't do. I would think that it would be court ordered that they would go do an investigation. That's not even up to them to go do. Sometimes they're ordered to by the court.
Exactly. There's
So
no need to go.
I don't
There's
know.
no need for them to go
media,
see this man. He's a well-established adult in this community.
I don't think that
takes care of his own business. There's no need to go. There's no need to go investigate him for anything.
I don't know if that's
He's
true.
had one bad outing with his kid, but let him been Sam Malone on government assistance.
Well, let me just say
or
this to
kids
you,
on government assistance.
Let me say this. Let me say
there would have been an investigation.
Let me say this to you from experience. Okay, I see a lot of court cases where and this is what I really hate, because these little young ladies go through way more than what's reported on the news. Okay, I see these it has to be something tragic and really, really bad, where a child comes up missing, dead, or something of that nature. Then you hear that the Jobs and Family Service. I hate saying Jobs and Family Service. Can somebody put in the screen who this is? The 241 kids people. Could y'all let me know so I can stop putting it on Jobs and Family Service? But whoever that organization is, they're always front and center when it's a high profile case. Okay, when it's on the news, it don't have to be some slick name, big name in the city. But I watch a lot of young ladies get domestic violence charges, not on them, but they're the complainant. And I see that there is a lot of 241 kids people that are in their face after they filed these charges on a man, because they want to make sure that the kids are safe in that home too. And they're doing that. I don't know if that's all about because they own the system. I think it's just because it's really for the safety of the kids. It has nothing to do with the welfare system itself. I think it's about the welfare of the kids, not necessarily their own welfare. But they do use that. Okay, Child Protective Services, CPS. Okay. Thank you. So CPS. I think they're coming.
Perhaps. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. We'll agree to disagree.
But no, let me just say this.
Let me say this before I go.
Okay, go ahead.
I need you to tell your son to get off my.
I don't have a son. I have daughters.
Ain't Eugene Joyner your son?
No.
Got it call on the show from Chicago. You had an escapade in Chicago.
Why would you call him my
about
son,
45 years ago?
What? I had a what?
You had an escapade in Chicago about 45 years ago and created a boy. Eugene Joyner called himself twin, him and his twin brother.
So that means I would have had twins.
Yeah.
Or am I just the father of one of them? See, you sound crazy.
I don't know. I don't know why you would insult his mom like that. Why would you insult his mom like that?
Come on, stop doing that.
He's a twin.
Don't turn it
into that. I'm not just the father of one of them. That's very legal. That's very medically possible.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
But anyway, I need you to tell him to get off my.
No, you tell him. You talk to him. Y'all are the ones that be doing lunch at the Krogers and shit.
Listen. Almost 2 years ago, he was feeling himself. And came on the show with me, and I slapped him around real good. You started off cheering him out, cheering him around, cheering him off, but then I started sunning him, and then he realized, okay, fame one of them ones.
So y'all beefing?
You know what I'm saying?
Are y'all beefing or what? I don't know. I care
He was
not.
fine for 2 years. Then just the other day, called on the Emmanuel show, started biting.
Biting you?
Yes. Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Biting what you were saying or
everything, just everything, the how, all that shit.
Oh, okay. I feel you. Okay, I hear you now. I hear you. All right. Well, listen, man. Y'all should have.
He
what
you're
doing,
to be
bro?
my son.
Don't bring it. But hold on, bro. Don't bring it at me. Talk to that man. What's up with y'all trying to run through?
But I just want to let you know what the people who you love. Be really thinking about.
I got love for you, brother. I got love for Twin.
You got a different kind of love for Twin than you do for any other caller.
Why would you say that?
We've already
Spit it out.
discussed it over the last probably 4 or 6 months.
Spit it
We don't
out.
need to rehash it.
Spit it
But
out.
I just wanted to say this. I need you to understand this very closely. Listen, you could never be me. Even if I don't have a vasectomy, there will always be a vast difference between you and I. Figure that out.
Oh, that was for Twin. I don't know what they going through. I don't know what they doing. I don't have time for shit like that. I don't even know. I don't know what the hell they doing. I mean, what the hell? Fame took that little bit of, you could have said something a little bit more productive, gave us some knowledge, hit us with a Nas verse or some shit. You come in here on somebody copying your style and all that. Come on, bro. You bigger than that. You bigger than that. And then you want to call him my son and all that. I be hearing that shit. I hear what people say. That's crazy to me. I got the dog, everybody. Here's what I don't do. I don't step down on people. I don't need an easy target. I don't need to talk bad about a person in order to make myself look good or to fit in with everybody else. And I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't mean nothing to me. He just, if Twin say something that I don't agree with, I'm not going to sit here and argue with him. Let me ask you something. Do y'all really think that I changed Twin mind? If he's saying something, if he's saying something about a topic or he feels a certain way, do y'all hear how he talked to me? Anybody ever heard a black man with a son with kids? Have y'all ever heard, you ever heard a black man get talked by his kids the way Twin talked to me? Twin talked to me crazy. Slow down, playboy. Slow down. You goofy. Slow down, boy. Slow down. Man, stop. You fazooling or whatever. He say some of the crazy. Nobody's father would let them say no shit like that. The same thing that Twin says, and I let him say, even if I don't agree, I fall back. I say the same. I just be like, well, I don't agree with that. Or I can't stop a grown man from feeling the way he feel. Fame come on here and say shit that I don't agree with. I don't necessarily argue with him, but he pulls me into it. Fame come in, you chop my ass when you said. So yeah, I'm going to correct you from what I said. I ain't going to sit back here and make you feel crazy because of the shit that you say and how you feel about something. Those are your opinions. That's how you feel. So, I mean, hey, when people get on here, I've heard people, what was that? I forgot who that gentleman was that called. I think, I can't think of his name. He called the other day, Marcus. I let Marcus say everything he wanted to say. He said the F word, and talking about gay people. I ain't about to sit here and try to tell people how they should feel about other people. I just don't, I ain't doing that. And sometimes you just got to let people say what they say so other people will understand who they are. I take no joy in breaking down somebody's perspective and trying to make them feel less than or make them feel like, they're dumb or some old shit. I don't do that. I try not to. Let me go back to the phone lines. I got a few more minutes, and I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. My wife, she already didn't say where you at, so she know she know what I'm doing. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's your boy Twin, man.
Twin, what's good, bro? You must have heard your name.
I was listening. And stuff. Fame something else, man. A character. He's something else. I ain't too much. I was just messing with him. I mean, he get out his feelings about that man, something wrong. I was just messing with him about his howling and everything. That's it. I was just messing around. I let Fame talk, man.
I think
Fame
picking a fight. I think Fame's getting bored. That's what I think. I think he's getting bored. I think that he can focus on much more serious matters, but I think he's just messing with you a little bit.
I was just thinking about, man. I was just thinking about Tuesday, the election and all that, man.
Okay.
And it just bothers me, man. To me, man, it seemed like I don't know. I really don't know, man. Like my mind about it. Why they just work as a group, man. The get along gang and all that. I was just sitting back thinking, oh, what he did, him and Lakita Cole, Stephon, man, he was informing people, letting people know how the city was getting down and what was happening. And just like today, he was on Lincoln Ware, and he was saying that they charged $40 at the meter for the during the game. I said, whoa,
But that's not the
$40 at a
city.
meter.
I was not able to listen to the show.
Yeah, I was shocked when he said that. I'm saying I'm used to, the parking, but $40 at the meter.
But those are not. That's for special occasions, I would think, right? That's not a normal. I go downtown Cincinnati.
No. That's not normal, but still during the game. But at a meter though, why? I never heard of that. At least I thought you put some change and you got to be there limited, what, 2 hours maybe, unless it's the weekend.
Well, I don't think you put change in meters anymore. I've just been. I mean, this is just.
You still do.
I haven't seen a downtown meter in years where I put some change.
Yeah,
well, you know
I
what?
put one in
it's been a couple
year.
years for me, but most of the meters that I encounter downtown are around the courthouse, and most of those are you use your credit card. They don't even have a slot to put change in it. But I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I don't think you can put $40 worth of change in a meter.
I mean, because I think you got what, up to 2 hours, maybe a couple hours.
I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't experienced the $40 meter.
Yeah.
To be honest,
he was saying he mentioned it today on the radio, and I was shocked. And I'm like, man, you got the man right here that people say, yo, he go get suckered in and all that. No, man, he doing the work, man. He putting in work, and people weren't feeling it and all that. But to each his own, man. That was just what I was thinking about, man.
Well, here's the thing. Can I say something about what you just said?
Go ahead, man.
Because I don't have a bad thing to say about Stephon Pryor. I don't even know the other lady that you were talking about. Yeah, I don't know her, but I thought I've heard her a couple times. I thought she would be a good fit because of what she was talking about. Her approach is way different than Stephon Pryor. Stephon Pryor was, and I told him, I've had a conversation with him off the air. I mean, he's a guy that I can contact. I told him I wish him well. I wish he would win and all of that, because I thought he would go in and he would be more of an honest, even if he wasn't really, really effective in the ways that the politicians are effective. I think he would still open up people's eyes about how certain things are done in those places, because you can send somebody into closed door meetings and have a really good idea of what's really going on behind those closed doors, just based on their reaction and how they're changing up their energy from what they used to talk about versus what they're talking about now. And I just don't think Stephon is a liar. And it would be hard for him to come out and tell people that something can't be done, but it could be done.
That's co-pimping right there, ain't it? Don't you think so?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What you say?
I think there's co-pimping what they doing though.
Well, I don't know. I think the people voted
$40 a meter, man.
But that's not the city. The city don't own the meters. The city,
they don't?
No, the city sold the meters years ago. So that's
that's right, because he did talk about that.
Right. So when you when you start selling your assets, don't get mad when someone else comes in and capitalizes off your city assets.
Is it out of town that bought it up?
I don't know if they're out of town. I would think it's some buying group. I would think that they're out of town. That not necessarily because I feel that way. I know, it's usually not local who does something like that, because I think that the connection of the people that make things like that happen don't want local affiliation, because of that's how you cover up how things get done.
Did you knew that guy and stop had a Mike Sinclair, the Bengals old player, Browns old player? Did you know him?
What was his name? Mike Sinclair?
Michael Sinclair. I think Mike played tight end, I want to say. He's a tight end.
Doesn't ring a bell with me. What's up with him?
He old school though. He died of a heart attack.
Oh no, I didn't. I just heard of the Dallas Cowboy kid that just
committed suicide. That was crazy, wasn't it, man?
Well, I haven't heard a lot about it, but
he committed suicide.
Any suicide. I mean, you would think that a kid that young in the NFL had so much going on. You just never know what people going through, though, bro. You never know what people are going through.
Now you saying the people. My last point. You said earlier, when I was listening, you said people depending on the government, right? About these stamps.
You said what now? Say it again. I'm sorry.
People depending on these stamps, right? SNAP program or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Okay. When you say they when you consider that married to the government?
Not necessarily. No, because you can I say something about that real fast, twin, before you
It's a relationship.
It's a service.
A service of a relationship.
I don't know
establishment. You depend on that. Just like your wife, she depend on your ass to come home every day, right?
We depend on each other.
You depend on each other. If you were late for come home, just like now, she's saying where you at. She depending on you. Just like they depend on the 1st and the 15th.
Okay.
Some go be wrong if they don't depend. That's married to the government, man.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay, what's your definition, player?
Of what?
Of married to the government. That'll be considered married to the government in my eyes.
Well, here's the thing. There's so many different ways of getting stimulus from the government. Like I grew up when I lived in the Fay apartments, that was a subsidy on rent. We didn't get food stamps. So we only got like housing. We didn't get food stamps. I was on food stamps in Laura Homes as a child.
You got the block of cheese, right?
We got the block of cheese in Laura Homes.
That's assistance from the government.
I understand, but you can't say that my mother was married to the government because that would be a false narrative, because she had subsidized rent, which means we paid 30% of her income. We didn't rely on, and yes, it is a form of it is assistance, but we didn't get the full package that some people get. They get the food stamps, they get the housing, they get the whole shebang.
Regardless of anything, you get assistance from the government. That's married to the government. That's a definite. That's what they saying. That's what it is.
Okay. Well,
that's what basically the name. That's the name of it. Just like you got that Wildlife shirt, that's your name. That's your product. This is a Wildlife T-shirt.
I don't understand the equivalence of what you're saying there, but
you understand. I'm trying to put it 2 and 2 together and make some sense out of it.
You still got me, bro. I'm still on the ropes. I'm still on the ropes, bro. But all right, go ahead, bro. You might as well just knock me out now.
Just, I don't know where you're going. You married to the government, man. Regardless of assistance or whatever you doing, you depending on that thing every month to come through, to follow through. Them stamps or whether your Kool-Aid check every month, 1st and the 15th, and utility check behind the prop. So that's being married to the government. They government, they depending on this situation.
So now let me ask you something.
Go ahead, man.
What about the elderly people? Do you think they're married to the government because they get, assistance?
No.
Well,
it depends on the situation.
They fit in the same category as someone that you said is married to the government. They getting the same assistance from the same people. Right?
If they've been getting all their life and feel like they don't want to, and that's what they depend on, they can't get out and do for themselves. Yeah, that's understanding. Yeah, that'd be like, yeah, you married to the government. They depending on this. I ain't get my check. I ain't get my stamp.
Twin, it's kind of ridiculous, bro, that you would think that someone that's getting subsidy from the government is necessarily married to the government. Now, I'm not saying you are 100% wrong, because there are people that get the whole shebang. When you go to the car wash, do you want the Supreme or do you want the basic? All right, there's some things in between. Some people get the Supreme package of the government. Yes, those people could possibly.
Well, say you know me all my life, man. I don't think you know I get a Kool-Aid check every month. I ain't punch no clock or none of that. I get a Kool-Aid check. And I say, why? Hey, man, I ain't get my check. Let me get $5, man. Next thing I know, I ain't get my check, man. It's coming. Man, damn. Go put some buggies or stack some milk at Kroger's or something. Do something, rake some leaves. Man, you depending on that. Then I come the next month, I got my check and start, I owe you and stuff. I had to pay all my rent. But hey, can I get $5 more to next? That's married. I'm depending on that welfare check, man. Kool-Aid check every month. That's married. I'm married to the government.
Okay.
That's how you consider that, Wyatt.
No matter what our conversation is here, like, I respect his point of view. I respect what you're saying, twin. I just don't agree with it. Okay. I don't.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
I don't
agree. You don't agree. You don't agree.
Basically, my mother was married to the government because we lived in the Fay and we had subsidized housing, right? So she was married to the government, right? And
she broke even because look, she was a what? What was your mama? what she work for the system, did she? The board or something?
Well, no. Well, when we lived in the Bay, she worked for Housing Opportunity Made Equal, which they call home. It's called home. She was a tester. She started out as a tester, making just a little bit over minimum.
And she didn't get no more assistance, did she?
Well, no, she didn't qualify for everything. Okay, and she wouldn't have taken it. Trust me, my mother was a very proud woman. She was not married to the government, but what the assistance rents have been sky high forever and a day. It's like people act like rent is just now being real high. People couldn't make $10 an hour and afford to live even with a single child, with one child. It's tough for anybody, whether it's a man or a woman raising one single child alone, making $10 an hour back then. That sounded like a lot of money, but it wasn't. It's hard to go work somewhere. It's hard to work somewhere and then pay, $1,000 a month somewhere. You see, you see what I'm saying? That's 70% of your income on a monthly basis. So when you look at people who need assistance, I've never been opposed to assistance. Okay, I might be opposed to who might get it, but I think that it's the American way to help American people. That's just what I think. I just don't think that everybody play fair when it comes to that.
Like this thing going on, this government shutdown. Man, both parties playing the game, man. Both of them playing the people. You shutting it down and all that. Y'all don't care for the people. You Democrats shut it down. Y'all don't care for the people. Well, so both of them playing games, man.
Well, here's what
but y'all say y'all for the people.
Let me say this before you take off, Captain. Let me just say this because I got to get this out. This has nothing to do with what you're talking about. This is my personal opinion about something that I've observed over the last few weeks. Okay, here's what I can't stand about people that have been pushing this narrative of SNAP benefits and all that old shit. This is what I can't stand. Stop putting Black people on the news, interviews. Stop putting Black folks up here like we the main recipients of fucking SNAP, when you got people from Ohio to Idaho to Missouri. You got all these white folks, and I'm not trying to be nasty or disrespectful, but they certainly depend on SNAP benefits and all this shit more so than we do. It's a hell of a lot more of them on those programs. But when they want to make people feel sorry, they put the Black children on there. They put the sister on there crying. They put them, they use Black folks for the front line of every freaking argument, and it burns my ass because why don't you go to this is a time to be able to expose just how many white folks getting all this government assistance that they think only Black folks get. I just can't. This is when I don't like what media does, because they always want to go down to the free food bank center and watch they only go into the Black neighborhoods to watch the Black people line up for these services when they know they can take their ass over to Boone County in Kentucky and see just as many, if not a hell of a lot more white people getting that. And it burns me up when they show us, because they know that we gonna make the most noise. We gonna put the pressure on the on the politicians. If you see all the Black kids lined up and the mama's crying because they not gonna get
snapped. You talking about that one girl the other day? Why did you see her on the TV?
Bro, I've been watching
it. I've been watching $23 left. I'll just drink some water.
I've been watching it across the country, brother. Just don't see. You don't see it. It's not a fair. It's just not a fair observation of what's really going on. They're not talking about the kids, the poor kids in Boulder, Colorado. They're not talking about those in those food banks and had them line up. What they do is they use us. So we'll be the ones that yell the loudest and put the pressure and, give the biggest blowback of what's going on. They use us for that. And I'm not suggesting that we're all, then we're not suffering too. But damn it, show some of those people that benefit from it the most. And I don't think it's a benefit. I think it's a service. I probably, that's a bad choice of words when I say who benefit from it.
They benefit too, because they count on it too.
Well, I don't know. See, I don't know if something's a benefit if you can't, if you're not able to, if you can't prolong it, make it better, make it good.
On the application say benefit.
Well, yeah, there are benefits. Yes, I get it.
Okay, there's a benefit.
Well, okay, twin. I'm suggesting most things that I think, okay, a savings account is a benefit to me. All right. So if I was, if I was getting if I was getting some type of assistance or something and I was able to bank some money, that's more of a benefit for me versus just being able, it's benefiting me for this week, next week after that. And then the next 30 days, I'm right back where I'm at. See, it's a false equivalent to me. I don't think those are benefits. It's not, I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm probably wrong technically, but I see a benefit as something that can carry me on to the next, there's a continuous growth there.
There is a continuous growth. It carry them over to the next month.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if benefit is the right word that I would.
You look on the application, say benefit.
So what? I mean, those things are systematically incorrect anyway when you look at a lot of shit on those applications.
I think they should start. To me, man, they should need to start. You want to talk about slavery and other crazy stuff. They should just how you put up and not seen. I probably sent it to you, Fayetteville, Georgia. How that black community rate, how they got all that stores and all that black gas started at. I think they should talk about that and how to create more things like that. What about that people that bought all that land and acres in Mississippi?
Right.
That found, they should talk about that and people mind about that, how that we can come up instead of this back and forth Trump issue and
But wait a minute. Wait a minute, Twin. You have a voice.
I know I do, man.
You have a voice on every platform in the city of Cincinnati that black people listen to. And if you know those things about buying land and the capital, to capitalize off those land, maybe that should be more of your conversation. I thought we had this conversation before. Why don't you bring that type of conversation to the table?
It's on my mind. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I sit back and, observe and just watch how people move. And I'm like, man, this ain't right. That's what made me go on the radio. I was listening for years. And then for 10 years, man, listen to the same old remix. I'm like, man, what is wrong with you? Y'all say the same stuff. Oh, infrastructure, gas have rent high. No, man. And they doing us wrong in the black in our own community instead of gentrification. Okay, I've been listening for the last 10 years. Now you got your people up in there. Now what? Come on, man. This can't be keep on remixing after this, man. That track gonna stop in a minute. Then you can't use no more alcohol to clean the dish out no more.
But see, that's where you could use your that's where you use your abilities,
You're right.
That's when you
I got so many people telling me, man, start your podcast. And I'm like, no, man. They gonna kick me off, man, because I'm not right. I know I ain't right. I'm gonna say the wrong thing.
What? How are you gonna say the wrong thing?
Man, F this and you ain't this, and man, I would be going crazy off that, man.
I promise you.
I know how I am.
But
trying to get delivered and everything, but man, the way things be pissing me off and people come out and lighten your mind and say this, no, man, you can't light my man on nothing, man. You in the same boat. You can't even light my man on nothing. You've been doing the same old jack-off mission and stuff, and here you go, trying to enlighten me. Nah, I ain't listen to you. Move around, clown. That's how I feel about the situation. No, I just been listening, man, for 10 years in the same old remix, right? Same old.
Well,
ain't nothing changed, man, in Cincinnati but the weather. Nothing, man. Well, I wish my mom told me go somewhere else.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Huh?
I don't think that's. I think you just.
Man, at least go to Kansas or Oklahoma.
Well, Twin, you can always.
No, your blessing Cincinnati, but I gotta leave where the word of God say. Come to Cincinnati, and I've been blessed ever since. But man, listen to these people down here. It ain't right, man. It ain't right. That's what be bothering me. And you had a man that should have elected prior, and man, I hate to say it.
What was prior?
Let
me ask you this, because I don't want to be disrespectful to my brother Stefan Pryor. But what was his solutions to any of the things that he was talking about?
His main solution is caring.
Is what?
It's caring for the people, man.
Okay,
you say
but y'all
hit that definition of democracy, right? For the people, by the people, and all that, right? Hold people accountable. I think that man would have flooded that city hall and would have been an Eric Mays Jr. and they didn't want it. They didn't want that. And he was going to say, no, this ain't right and that ain't right. And man, we need to stick with this.
Okay,
I
there's a
think he
level
would
of
have been
truth
a
there.
good candidate, man.
There's
A good councilman, man.
there's
He's
a
for the
level.
people, and I like that. I don't like this back and door. We don't like you, and you can't say that to us. No, don't say this, don't say that.
But
Be
Twin,
hush hush on the low.
But Twin, what you have to do is pick your battles, pick your ward, pick your battles. Your conversation about repairing something it may not be on certain platforms. It may not be everywhere. Everybody's not listening or absorbing the same information everywhere. To go bang your head against the wall with people that don't see things eye to eye with you, how do you ever see that anything that you see as a solution is going to go to them with?
But if y'all keep getting the same remix every year, and y'all keep crying and going on podcast radio station or going down to City Hall, and you ain't getting they ain't answering y'all complaint, then
well,
what?
let me ask you something.
Then here comes Stefan. Hey man, what's the complaint?
Well,
see what I'm saying? What you got 9 people down there. You got 52 communities, they say. You equal that out to what? 52, man, that's maybe what? Five people, 5 communities they doing each other, are
you
taking care of her and all that, taking care of.
I don't necessarily think it works that way, but
it should work that way. What's wrong with taking 5 of y'all each council member, 5 of y'all take care of each community, 5 communities out of it? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, Cincinnati's small.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that all of the communities, all 52 of them, need the same thing. That they're different. I mean, I don't think all of them need the same thing. So it would be a waste of services from your elected officials if you put 5 people in an area that don't necessarily need, because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of Cincinnati communities are self-sufficient. A lot of them have what they need, and they want to stay away from the people. They kind of are the reason why the voting is the way it is. It's structured that way on purpose, Twin, because if you notice, you got 52 communities, correct? Is that right in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
How many of the communities do you ever talk about every day? Or what community, the places that you listen, the podcast, radio, and all that? What community?
Most of them talking about the damn Black community, man.
So you see, so why is it such an issue in those communities there? You don't hear anybody talking about the other, what is it, 42, 40, 45 communities? Why is that? You see what I'm saying? Go look at some of how those other communities are running and ran, and you might get an idea that community councils are important. Why do they vote that way? Why do people vote the way they vote? Because maybe they're comfortable in where they live and how things are going, and it don't matter. It don't matter how the slate turns out.
So you'll pinpoint this on whoever your council, community council in that act or whatever in that community, you will point it on them, put it on them.
I think community councils are very important, because community councils could work together and start holding your elected officials in City Hall a little. See, you know what I really think, and this is kind of crazy because there's 52 communities in the city of Cincinnati, right? There's no way you could have 52 aldermen, or because in Chicago it's aldermen, but in Cincinnati there's city council people. You can't have 52 community representatives. But I really think that if they could do something, I think that community council presidents should be somewhat part of city council. Even if they're like a pre-board, they may not sit at the high tables, but I think that they should be part of everything that's going on at City Hall, because those people speak for those communities. And if you're talking about, I don't care if it's Oakley, I don't care if it's downtown and over the Rhine, wherever it is, those people should have a lot to say. They should be part of that of city council, which they probably are. But my point to you is this: y'all only talk about so many. You're not talking about 45 other communities in the city of Cincinnati, and you should ask yourself, why don't you talk about those other? What are those other 45 communities doing that the 5 or 6 or 7 are not doing? What's the difference? What's the big difference between those communities?
That's what I want to understand. When I guess they engaging with the councilman, whatever.
No,
if they got to come, huh?
No, I don't know if it's necessarily. I don't think those people out there. This is why you have such a low turnout, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the people And I don't think the people out in the suburban areas of Cincinnati, you know, the outskirts of Cincinnati, who can vote, who are registered voters, I don't think they vote. That's why y'all get 25% turnout, 30%. 30 was huge. Prior election was like 24.6. You don't get a lot of turnout because those people are content out in those areas. They don't care nothing. That shit, that trauma and drama and all that shit, them shootings and all that shit are not happening in their community. So they don't really rock with it. They don't care. I shouldn't say they don't
dude,
care.
Don't you think like if I'm a counselor out here in College Hill and I know I get a lot of complaints from the resident and all that, don't you feel like as twin accounts, I need to go engage with the city leaders like, hey man, this is what happened in my neighborhood. We need a Walmart out here. Oakley got a Walmart. Why we can't? Oh, we need this or we need and stuff. And people look at stuff like that, man. Why we can't get this and they got it over there? Or why we can't stop the violence over here, but y'all can stop. You got to look at pinpoint things like that. Why y'all keep on allowing this to happen in this neighborhood?
Well, I don't think that they allow the things to happen. I think it's just something that happens in the neighborhood because of the people that do it. All right. I mean, I can't sugarcoat it. I mean, you don't have people standing out on the corners in certain areas of Cincinnati selling drugs. You don't have a lot of people. If you go through certain neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati, there are people that just grown motherfucking men just standing out. I remember as a kid, grown-ups just standing outside the stores, just hanging, chilling, just not doing shit. You feel me? Like a whole lot of noise going on in the community, just a lot of shit going on. That is not going on everywhere. Not in all 52 neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati. So now you got to start asking yourself, why do some neighborhoods have that and others don't? Right. That would be where I would start. Maybe there's more opportunity in some of those other areas. I don't know what it is because I'm not trying to dissect it like that. I mean, I could take a few guesses. They got
citizen on patrol. That's why it's like this.
Well, that could be
neighborhood watchdog.
That could be some of the issues.
I'm just asking you questions because I'd be concerned and stuff. I really, I'm learning Cincinnati and I learn a little bit of history and how they, for the last 10, 15 y'all been listening on radio and how people move around. And I'm like, man, why is this happening like this, Joe? They've been doing this with these people this long. And, I just learn and stuff because, I'm learning. Every day, how the needle move and all that. And, I don't know why. I'm just concerned.
In Chicago, can you answer this for me in Chicago? I'm sorry. I'm about to move on, guys. I promise. But this could be a lesson. In Chicago, where the drugs, like some of the GDs and stuff, where did they primarily set up their camps for their economic growth? Where did they sell their drugs? Did they go stand out in the suburbs of Chicago and set up on corners and stuff like that and sell to the community?
You break out in the suburbs, you made money out there.
Okay, but
you set up shop in a suburb.
What I'm saying to you is,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, they did.
Wait, hold on.
You trying to in the community?
No, wait, hold on. It's a different scene when you sell drugs out in the suburbs. You don't sell drugs on the community stage.
I'm gonna answer that too.
Okay, well,
yeah, they set up shop in your home community.
I can go downtown Cincinnati right now and over the Rhine, and I can hit the hottest block, and everybody in the world know what's going on in that block. You can't do that in Oakley. You can't do that in a lot of the different.
Yes, you can.
Okay, they got a hot spot in Oakley where you can.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty
sure they don't.
Sure they don't. Hey, they close to Madisonville, right?
Well, Madisonville is Madisonville, though, right?
It's across the street. It's across the one block in the skip.
Okay, my point is this. Okay, name me another.
I understand what you're saying, though.
So there's half the problem right there when you have a district that knows. Look, man, I grew up right downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, where Mama Birch, if you still here, help me out on what the name was. It not Armory. What was the street over there by right off of Lynn, but it was coming down the street from by the Regal. It's I don't know if that's not Armory. It was maybe Clark. I don't know. That was the hot spot.
Clark sounds familiar right there by the Regal.
Down there, but I'm just saying it was the hot spot. You can buy drugs, you can buy weed. bro, you wasn't here. You wasn't in
I
Cincinnati.
used to hang it downtown. What are you
No,
talking
bro,
about?
I was a
Trotters and all
child.
that. Come on, man.
You only been in
Parkway,
Cincinnati.
all that. I used to be
You
down
only
there.
been in Cincinnati how long? 10 years?
No, man, I was down there back in 05. I mean, yeah, 03.
03.
05.
So you was there. You got here a little bit after the 2000.
I got.
Bro, we
I
talk about
visit
it in
y'all
the
like
80s, bro. We talk about
I
it in
did
the
first visit
80s.
Cincinnati 01 when y'all hit a
Bruh,
curfew or riot or something.
I'm 20 years before all
And
of
then
that.
after that, I went on a 2-year run and stuff. Got extradited back, and then I did my time. Came back to Cincinnati when I got out 08.
Okay. You still in the
Yeah.
2000? You still in the millennium though, bro. I'm in the 80s. I'm in
I
the
ain't
80s.
No, but I ain't know. I was
That's all I was
Cincinnati
saying to you,
across the
bro.
river.
All I'm saying to you,
WKRP. I was listening to.
okay, but all I'm saying to you, brother, is this: there's always been hot spots of drug activity in these cities.
Yeah,
I know
what you're saying.
You can't say that for all the communities in Cincinnati. So that is a starting point right there. Why is it so prevalent to have drug spots in these city spots? And those drug spots generally have the same problems. Community, in those communities, they all have somewhat of the same problem. You got to start with that. Pay attention to that type of stuff, because it's I know what leads to crime. I know that, lack of education leads to crime. I can't blame Cincinnati public schools for kids not going to school and wanting to learn. Sorry, my wife is texting me, guys. I gotta go. But wanting to learn and wanting to be productive in life, that starts from the crib, from the cradle, the crib at home. That starts when you come home and your mama and your daddy reading ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and Barney and all that shit before you even go to preschool. All that stuff starts right there. Okay, I can't blame Cincinnati public school because you have some unmotivated children that have to go to school as if they really, they going only because they have to, not because they want to. Listen, Dr. Odell Owens, I say this all the time, said it better than anybody in the city of Cincinnati. He said, if you want to kill poverty, you have to up your education, because education is the cure for poverty, and it's the truth. And if we're not promoting school and family and things of that nature, then you're not promoting success in your community. That's how I feel about that.
Okay. You have a good weekend, man. Safe travel to the Miami, you and your family, man.
Well, thank you very much, Twin. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks. I'm glad you have a great weekend, bro. You didn't explode on us today. Okay.
No, I'm mad, man. Definitely, even though I gotta work. I'm off Sunday, though. I'm gonna check in the church, bro. Other than that, man, I'm cool though.
Well, I'll think of you this weekend. I tell you what, I'd like to give you. I'd like to give you. I don't want to say an assignment or nothing like that, Twin, but I give you a challenge. How about that? I give you a challenge. Why don't you get one of those favorable, fun, good, productive stories? Grab one from the Wyatt Live Messenger group, because I send them in the Wyatt Live Messenger group all the time. Of success stories and how people bought land or how they do this or I'll be reading up on all that. Okay, well, why don't you pick up one of those stories, and why don't you serve some of that up instead of countering what other people doing? Why don't you bring your own thing, your own what you think that people should be talking about that's positive? Bring that to the table instead of trying to counter what those folks may be talking about. Because trying to counter what somebody's a mind that's already made up is very difficult for you to change. But if you could just give a different story about something different, then they don't have to talk about you don't have to be counter. You don't have to counter what they're talking about. Just have a different thing to talk about. Have something else to say.
Right. That's true.
All right, brother. Okay, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for engaging with us, bro. Have a good weekend, Twin. Mama Birch, happy birthday to you once again. Let me say something about my I know my wife gonna kill me, man. Yeah, I know I got one of my wife is like this. I'm ready to go, but she doesn't really have. She's not ready to go. She's just ready to look like it's time to go. And it's only a 4-hour drive. We driving down, it's 4 hours. So as long as I have I meet my dinner reservations for a certain time. I got plenty of time to make that. We eat late when we go out. We're 9 o'clock eaters on the weekend. You know, dinner time. We're 9 o'clock at night people. Sometimes she'll book at 8:30, but most of the time we do the 9 o'clocks. You know, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine on my time. Have y'all seen this story that's been going on? I was going to talk about it, but then of course I get sidetracked a little bit. About the trans person the trans people that have been going into the ladies' locker room. These are dudes going into the ladies' locker room at like Planet Fitness. I don't know if y'all really want to talk about that. That could get okay. That could get a little long. So I don't really want to get into that today. But I will say something about another thing I was going to talk about because that's just a little shorter. No, twin. He said, "Are you going to Trick Daddy's restaurant or finger licking?" I don't know what Trick Daddy's restaurant. I've seen Trick Daddy before. I've seen how he's prepared food. I don't think I'm going to Trick Daddy's. All right. I don't think that he's on our schedule, our weekend schedule. We're going to do some husband and wife chilling type stuff. So you know, yeah, I don't think Trick Daddy is on the list of things to do. All right. But nah, I doubt it. But anyway, last week I was in Phoenix, Arizona. And it made me think of actually what I was talking about earlier about the economics of your community, owning some of the shops, owning some of the opportunity that, you know, the money that's in those restaurants, right? And I said in those restaurants. I'm reading comments, twin talking about both restaurants are fire. I'm gonna doubt that Trick Daddy. I don't want to doubt that he's. It's probably great. It's just not on my list this weekend. All right, so it's probably a great space. It is, I'm sure. But while I was in Phoenix, Arizona, I got an opportunity to see some of the people out there working together. And what I mean by that, some of the Mexicans who are out there working their ass off and trying to make an honest living for themselves. Whether they're here legally or not, that's not part of what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is how they actually work together. Remember back in the day, I don't know, some of y'all might not have been raised like this, but we certainly were. Just like I called Donna auntie and shit like that. I grew up in a community where we was all cousins. The only people we wasn't cousins with are the people that was from somewhere else and we ain't really rock with them. If you live in law homes, your best friend live in Lincoln Court, that's your cousin. We were always related. My partner Sean, that's my cousin. My partner Greg, that's my cousin. Well, whoever, these my cousins. You know what I'm saying? We always was related. The Mexicans have taken on that. The Mexicans have taken on that assignment now. They live in each other's homes. They work with each other. They share food with one another. They share cups of sugar. Remember those days? They do that. And I seen this clip. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to play this clip real fast. While that clip is playing, I'm going to text my wife. But what is it? Work together. Okay. Two things can be true at the same time. I want to know, what do you all feel about this clip right here? If you don't, let me see. Work together. All right. There's a guy who's talking about how we as Black folks don't work together and how we need to work together and this and this and that. I actually forgot how the clip goes because it's been a few days, but I wanted to talk about it because he's right, but then he's wrong. You know that thing where two things can be true at the same time, right? So I'm gonna play this clip and then it'll make me remember what my take was on it. Check this out.
Come, we can bring 5 people together to do something dumb, but we can't bring 5 people together to do something and invest. Come, we can bring 5 people together to do something dumb, but we can't bring 5 people together to do something and invest. The other day, a guy told me he been friends with people since the sandbox, and I said it's sad because you don't grow up the sandbox and neither one of y'all put y'all resources together to do anything to help each other out. That ain't no friendship. That's a struggle ship. That ain't no friendship, that's a struggle ship. Come on, it's diabolical. Let me say that again. You tell me that you have a friend that you've been friends forever with, and y'all still haven't helped each other get out of your bad situation. That is not a friendship, that is a struggle ship. That is trauma bonding. That is something that is not allowing y'all to elevate. Y'all are living like children, because the reality, if y'all are grown, is about what you building. Come, we can bring 5 people together.
Okay, bro, I hear you. I think you're making a valid point. I think it's a great point, because I just said the same thing about the Mexicans out in Arizona who are working together, pulling their friends together from the sandbox. They get their construction things together. They go cut grass. They do all these things, and they share the profits, and they work together, right? But here's what I don't understand about why bro think that sandboxes can build businesses together. Have anybody ever tried to work with somebody that you grew up with? Hell, have you ever even tried to do a business with a family member? It's difficult. Not everybody. See, this is why I get tired of people talking about black folks need to work together and this and this and that. Not necessarily. I mean, we can, but it don't have to be people you grew up with and friends, because everybody's not built to be able to do this shit. Everybody's not built to be able to go through the turmoil and the storms of what it takes to run a successful business, or to even start one, or to get things going where not everybody is built that way. So when you hear people that's like this guy who's saying that black people don't work together, yes, we do. It just don't work out all the time. You understand? It just doesn't work out. I've tried multiple times to do business with people in the city of Cincinnati, people that I rock with, people that I grew up, I got love for. And I can tell you right now, the reason why the shit didn't work out, I can keep to myself. But in most times, I took a loss. In most of those cases, I took a financial loss, because everybody's not built to be the janitor, the salesperson, the enforcer, whatever. They're not built to do it all. So it's not really meant for them. I think that what we need to do, push entrepreneurship a little bit different than how people talk about it. And what I mean is, like I told some people a couple weeks ago, yeah, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but it opens up opportunity for everybody. Because I might not be someone who can structure a business and run a business, doesn't mean that my uncle who knows how to do it, now he's doing it, and now I go work for my uncle. See what entrepreneurship opens up opportunity for people. That's all I'm saying. I've never said that everybody should be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship, business ownership, it's not for everybody. So don't put it out there that we don't work together and blah, 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 because maybe Lil Ray and John and all this old shit don't scratch their marbles together, and maybe they don't have a successful business because they just don't know how to run a business. But I know a lot of successful black folks in the United States of America that have teamed up and have run multiple businesses in conjunction with one another, and they piggyback off each other's businesses. It's ridiculous to say that we don't work together. What we don't do is we don't spend enough money within each other. Try that one on. People have made that argument before. I got buddies in the real estate game. I know this to be true because I watch it. They're real estate agents. Soon as somebody in our community want to buy a house, they go get somebody that don't look like us, and they spend their money with that person. The craziest thing happened a couple years ago. I think COVID might have been going on. I couldn't stand it. It was a perfect example of what I've been talking about for years. And I know y'all gonna get mad at me because y'all think I be hard on black folks, but I'm gonna point out certain things that black folks do to black folks to keep the cycle going on. There was a black couple on the radio station talking about how they got discriminated against when they sold their home out in Loveland, Ohio, where they might have 1% black. They don't even have a full, if you could put all the brown skinned people in Loveland, Ohio, and it might equal 1% of brown people out there. Maybe. They're out there with a house in Loveland claiming that they got discriminated against during the appraisal. You don't have a problem with white folks until something like that come up, and then you want to go to the black radio station. But look what you did. You spent all your money. Your listing agent was white. Your seller was white. Your appraisal a person was white. Everything about you, everything that you did was white. Then when you complain, you come complain to the black community, and you want us to stand on the front line with you, but you don't have any black folks that was in a position to make any money, profit off of this, and could co-sign that what you're saying is right. You just sitting back mad at whatever that process was. And here go the crazy thing. The long story of this is this. They actually sold the house, right? This is how I know it was some bullshit. Get mad at me if you want to. You sold it to a black family. So where were you discriminated against? See, this is the problem that we run into. If you would have went and got a black realtor, maybe that black realtor would have aligned you up for something else. It just didn't make sense to me. And then when you turn around and want to not utilize us when things go wrong, now you want to bring in the black realtors to try to help you work through this issue and this problem. A lot of the people that I know who are realtors and sales, car sales and stuff like that, it's like, man, my people, they'll walk right past me. I've bought several cars, and y'all know what type of cars I drive. I don't care if my guy is not there that day. I always come on his day. I want his schedule. I know what day he's going to be there. I know when he's not going to be there. I don't want anybody splitting no deal with him. I'm not coming to test drive anything the day that you're not there, because now they getting some of your money. I'm not doing that. I know I'm wrong for this, but it's been done to me before. I've walked in places, furniture places, and I sought out somebody that looks like me. I've done that before because I know that people have walked past me when they were spending money and didn't want to spend no money with someone that looked like me. So I have to return the serve. It's like, I know that this brother or this sister in this furniture store probably gets some of that type of treatment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely look for somebody that look like me, and I'm going to spend my money with them. Now, if that makes me a bad person or a racist, then I guess you can put me in that little bag for that moment. But unfortunately, it's happened to me before. And I know how that salesperson feels to be overlooked and to be treated that way. And we owe it to one another when we spending our money. And when you say, no, we don't. Well, maybe in your mind, we don't. But in my mind, I'm going to make sure that I spend my money with people that look like me, because there's not enough of us that do that. I know that might sound a little crazy, but there's not a lot of us that are that engaged. They don't care. Some of us don't even want to spend the money with us because, yeah, we can be a little bit flamboyant out here. You know, you don't want to spend money with somebody that got diamonds and gold and shit all over their chest, and they looking like they don't need a dollar, and they all flamboyant. And sometimes we can show off a little too hard. You feel me? And that's a deterrent that makes people not want to deal with you or support you, because they think that you got it, you got enough. And, so you got to be careful. It's a double-edged sword. Let me go to the phone lines. Last caller of the day. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, man, this is CK, man, calling out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
CK, how you doing today, brother? What's good?
Man, hey, man, get it, man. I see you got the suit on.
You watching yesterday's show or the couple days ago show? I don't
have a suit. Got the suit on today?
Oh my God, bro. You obviously not watching. You just listening, huh?
Oh yeah, I was on the phone. You be having me on the road, man. You know that all timers is real.
I got on swimming trunks and you don't see me, bro. I got on. I'm about to go to the beach.
Oh yeah, that good Florida living. That's good Florida living, ain't it?
Well, it's a little rainy today, but yeah, we going down. My wife and I going to Miami.
Hey, that's good living, man. Hey, congratulations on, man, your successful union, man. Is that's why a lot of people listen to your podcast, because of the success in your household. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us have broken households, divorcees, and broken families. So when we hear somebody living in bliss, it makes people enjoy their day. You know what I mean? So you do a lot in other ways, you know, that you don't even know. You know what I
Well,
mean?
for
You
some people,
know,
I can see that. It works for me. I love to see people who are doing well or doing things good or positive things. I like to see that myself. It motivates
yeah.
me. It motivates me. Some people don't though.
No, because remember, you're a unicorn, sir. Everybody, like you said, at least Walter Payton would have been everybody else. It would have been Walter Payton, but it would have been the boyfriend. It wouldn't have been you. It worked out, so it was the brother. You know, it's like God, like He's working out just for you. You know what I mean? Like the way that, and that's another thing you got to remember. You've been touched, like when Ali touched Mike Tyson when he was in juvenile. You got touched by greatness, sweetness. Though he got touched by greatness, you got touched by sweetness. Walter Payton.
Okay, I
So
feel you. I feel you.
great people. That's what I'm saying. Remember when you said you go for the whole fish, the whole ocean. You want to catch every fish in there.
I don't know about that. I think I hear what you're saying. I don't need every fish in the pond. I don't. I just need to know how to fish, and then I'll take
No,
care of it.
remember, you know what I'm talking about when you said you want to just remember that that it just came up that you want to help everybody. I said I just need to help one. You said no, I want to help the whole damn ocean. I want to help everybody in the community. You know what I mean?
Well,
And I was just saying one.
okay. I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yeah.
I just
So
don't
when that
want you to.
happens,
I don't want you
when
to
that
get it
happens,
confused, though. I don't want you because you can't help everybody. So I don't want you to get it
right?
confused. But I hear you.
No, that's what I'm saying. Walter Payton, sweetness.
Hmm.
We lost him, right? Guy,
Yes.
everybody loved him. So when we lost him, he affected you. Look how good you turned out, and look how many people you affect. That's the fact. So just you is 1 million. See what I mean? It don't just end with Wyatt. Wyatt, he is a motivational tool
Okay.
to people
Okay.
that's in down the way. You got people starving, eating ramen noodle bottles. You see what I'm saying? We downtown eating ramen noodle bottles, roaches in the cereal. Then we look up and we see, oh, he came from where I came from. We can make it to successful wealth. We can be married. We can put our children through doctor school.
Yeah, you
It's
can. But
called medical.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, CK. I think everybody can do whatever they want to do. I think the only
There
people
it
that
is.
get. I think the only people who feel different than that are people who have been taught that they can't.
Like me.
Been
Like
told.
me. I've been
Been
taught
told.
that I ain't shit. Remember from birth.
Okay.
When
I
they
mean,
say only a face of mama can love, that's what they. So when people tell you that, you become insecure. If people telling you ugly, you're not gonna have faith when you holler at women, right?
yeah,
Because everybody telling you ugly, but your mama.
yeah, and
So
yeah.
perception is reality, right?
In most cases, it is.
So you is ugly. You just got to work around being ugly. That's what we have to deal with. But when they see people like you and success stories, then you give them away. Oh, I could just go to school. See, your thing is that's why I say put God first, have faith in you. Education is the only way to the truth. I support your podcast because of the educational background, because you didn't go the easy way. Either both of them not easy. You didn't go legal. You sent your daughter to medical. That's 8 to 12 years of after high school. Do you understand, sir?
I do.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
I
That
hear
type
you,
of
bro.
motivation, if you could do that to one daughter, you're spreading that to at least 28 people in your own community, sir. Cincinnati and Florida. These are no lies.
No, I mean, I hear you. I understand where you are now. I was a little left in the race, a little bit like y'all took off on me. I'll be honest, CK, y'all took off on me. I ain't know where you was for a minute, but I hear you now.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
I
sir. I
think
just had to bless. I had to bless you. You know, I got to go get the money, but I had to call and get that motivation before I go get this money, man. Thank you, man. I'm a list. I'm a
okay, bro.
list.
Hey, I appreciate you engaging with
Yes,
us,
sir.
CK.
God bless you, man. God
God
bless
bless you too,
everybody.
brother. You and the missus.
Thank you, sir.
All right, brother.
oh,
You better
oh,
not lose
God.
that. You better not lose that woman. I'll talk to you. I'll
Yes,
talk to
this
you on
weekend is
Monday.
going to be crucial. Yes. Okay.
All right, brother. Talk to you. Bye bye. Thanks for engaging with us, CK. I do the best I can with some of these, you know, conversations. I don't know, but yeah, you know, I think um I think that a lot of the reasons why we have a low motivation, you know, I shouldn't say it like that. I just think that kids are most kids are a product of their parents when it come down to how far they go in life. I was this is gonna sound very naive of me. I was totally freaking shocked when I discovered that there are parents out there who don't want, excuse me, let me get this off the screen, who don't want to see their kids do better than them. Let me go to some of the questions here because I don't want to. I don't do that. I got a couple minutes. Let me. Sierra. She said, Wyatt. Excuse me. The screen moved. She said, Wyatt, what changes will you make to the show that will help you grow nationally? And I know, Sierra, I know you're into the marketing thing and all that. I think I'm going to focus more on YouTube a little bit more. I'll still be on that's a great question. I'll still be on Facebook and some of the other Twitch and all that stuff. I just don't get a lot of activity from those, from like Twitch and X and all that. I don't get a lot of viewership there because I don't promote it. I think I'm going to start doing more clips, and you know, those clips, 15-second clips, 30-second clips of the show, start promoting it a little bit, start bringing up topic more so than just, you know, local stuff in the Cincinnati area. I've done this now long enough to be able to relate to national stories. I can relate to some of the things. See, I think I helped, to be honest with you, Sierra, I had to build up the courage to have a conversation about somewhere that I've never been before. I'm a firm believer that in order to have a conversation with me, I'd never debate something with someone that's never done it before or who have just sat on the sideline. If you've never been the quarterback, you can't tell me how to be a quarterback. If you've never been in the ring and you fought professionally, you can't tell me what it feel like to get hit by a professional. If you can't tell me, or if you've never been there, I have a hard time not taking you serious, but I have a hard time absorbing your information, because in the back of my mind, it comes up real slowly in our conversation. I'm always going to ask, well, how the fuck do you know? You ain't never got hit by Clarissa Shields. How the hell you know how it is? How do you know that he could have went that way with the football instead of over there? You ain't never been an NFL quarterback. I have a hard time when people talk about certain things that happen in the community when they're not from certain parts of communities. They don't know and I talk about this all the time. They don't know about the options that kids had, like, you know, all that old bullshit. Oh, he was born into drugs. Yeah, sometimes some kids are because their entire household are drug dealers. You see it on some of these TV shows, like fake ass shows. Some of that shit is real. If you grow up in a bad area, your mama sell drugs, your uncle sell drugs, and everybody sell drugs, and everybody's saying fuck the police. Chances are you're gonna grow up with this mentality of F the police. You're gonna sell drugs because you don't see anything wrong with going to jail, because that's been part of your lifestyle or your family's lifestyle forever. So those are dysfunctional, normal lifestyles for some kids. I feel that I could handle some of those conversations on a much bigger scale. I mean, before I had to kind of build up the nerve to have a conversation with someone and say, hey, you know, I've seen it. I've been it. I mean, I've lived in probably 4, 5 major cities in my life. You know, not to even mention overseas. And I've lived in an area where people convinced me to go steal and convinced me to go make money on the streets. And then I've lived in an area, got older, I lived in an area where I was trying to do that same convincing of kids in the neighborhood. And they were like, nah, We can't do that because if we do that, my mom and my dad, their name is attached to what I'm doing out here. You see what I'm saying? So I have a full, that's what I think is unique about, and I'm not counting anyone else out or saying that they're not capable of doing this, but I think I have a broad perspective of a lot of different situations. I've lived in the hood and I've lived in some area. I mean, I've lived in some gutter, and then I've been able to live in some very nice areas as well. But I've also seen the differences in parenting. I've seen the differences in how kids act that have fathers. I've seen, this is all not, these are not my opinions. These are things that I've actually witnessed and I've been part of and I've seen. And I can see the differences and I can feel the differences from being in the ring, from the experience. A lot of people don't like that because when I first started, I was a little arrogant in this thing. And I would say, bro, you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. You ain't never been there before. You don't know nothing about how it is to live in law homes. You don't know nothing about that. You grew up in such and such area. And that might sound a little arrogant, but it was only matching the conversation that we were having. You know, I can't stand it when people act like that the problems that you have in your communities can't be solved. They always think that because it's a problem that it can't be solved because it's always been that way. There's answers to every problem. Are there people that execute them? Are there people that really want the problems to cease? How many people actually, do your leaders benefit from the problems? In New Orleans, they do. Everybody got a program to stop the violence. I heard the craziest shit in the world. Some of y'all might think this is a normal conversation to hear this. They say, who was it? Louisville. No, Indianapolis. Just here recently. The AG, excuse me. The AG is calling for the National Guard in Indianapolis. I told y'all I'm not going to nap anymore, bro. I ain't going there for March Madness. I ain't doing nothing in Indianapolis. It's off the chain. You got people walking down the street, just like in Cincinnati, no pun intended, getting shot accidentally, just random people getting shot in Indianapolis. These are cities that are all ran the same way because they leadership always want to be front and center when the cameras are out there, and they always want to start these programs. The AG is asking for the National Guard to come to Indianapolis because of all the shooting. And you know what they talking about? You know what they city council is talking about? We don't need no damn National Guard to come in here and clean this up when they police department don't really want to fight the people on the street. You know what the city council is saying? It's so sad, it makes me laugh. City council is saying we don't need the National Guard. We need stricter gun laws. I just don't understand when people say shit like that. You need stricter gun laws, and that'll stop the gun shooting and shit all in your city. So let me just ask you this. How many people with those guns are law-abiding citizens who give a shit about the law in the first place? You telling me you can make it? The strictest cities in the United States of America have some of the highest gun violence. So how could you as a leader say, we don't need help physically, we need help legislatively? So let me back this up just a little bit so people can understand why I feel the way I feel. Fame said more strict, not stricter. Okay. I told you, if that's what it is, if that's a word. But let me just say this. Thanks, Nas. Let me give you a perfect example. Remember a few years ago when the city of Cincinnati had a problem with crime? And the feds came into the city of Cincinnati. I remember the chief of police was, I can't remember his name, but it was when we had the black police chief. They came in and they gave the city of Cincinnati like $1.6 million or $1.4 million to help with the crime violence. And they gave they gave us a list of laws that are going to be enhanced over and beyond what was already on the books. So let me give you a perfect example. In the city of Cincinnati or in Hamilton County, if you have a charge of having a weapons under disability, which meant you can't carry a weapon because you're a convicted felon. Thank you. It was Chief Isaacs. Thank you. Yeah, because he ended up going to UC. I told you he was looking for another job. That all being said, if you catch a case and it's a weapons under disability and you're convicted, it's a mandatory in Hamilton County, I believe. Now, don't quote me on this. I could be wrong. 36 months, which is 3 years. So if you're convicted of weapons under disability, you get 36 months no matter what, because it's an additional charge because you're a felon carrying a gun. I think that's a strict law. I think that's strict, right? You can't carry a gun, but people do it every day who have felony records. All right. So now the feds come into Cincinnati, drop a boatload of money to help buy cars and buy things to fight crime and blah, blah, blah. But they in turn say, we're going to start picking up these gun charges and making them federal crimes. So whatever you get from the city or the state, whatever, we're going to, as the feds, we are going to enhance. We're going to make that weapons under disability a 5-year sentence, federal time. Y'all don't remember? Do you all remember? I did a show on it. Remember when the feds came into Cincinnati and they said a weapons under disability will be picked up, any gun charge will be picked up by the federal government, and you will serve a mandatory sentence if you do this with your gun, if you brandish the weapon, if you do this, if it's used in a robbery. They had a list of things that said if you do these things, this is the extra time you're going to get. And it didn't slow down anything. Guys was getting no, I don't think it's 24. I don't think it's 2 years, twin. I don't think it's 24 months. I think it's 36 months. You could be right. It could be 24. It could have changed. But I think it's 3 years. And if you already have a weapons under disability conviction, and if you have 6 months left on that, you did that 6 months no matter what. Okay. But that all being said, the feds came in and added extra time, and it stopped no crime whatsoever. It did not stop any gun violence in the city of Cincinnati, because I don't think laws stop people who are going to use guns. That's my personal opinion. And my opinion is based on the fact that I've sat back and watched it not play any effect. You can go to New York City. New York has some of the strictest gun laws in the United States of America. They shooting and killing in New York. It don't stop. Just because they make the law stiffer don't mean that people are going to stop. So when you hear somebody like Indianapolis with a leadership that says, and I don't know if y'all been following Indianapolis, but a lot of these cities got the same problem that Cincinnati has. Their kids are downtown fighting. They doing that downtown Indianapolis. I told you, my wife and we are never going back downtown Indianapolis and staying at a hotel down there. You won't see me coming out of the Conrad. You won't see me coming out of the JW Marriott. You won't see me coming out of those places because it's just too freaking bad in Indianapolis. And they have the same leadership in those cities. Most of those cities are facing the same problem. They have the same problem with the people letting those kids out and letting the reoffenders come out here and get some payback. Nobody said shit about that young man getting shot 23 times outside of wasn't it a Bengal game, like a Thursday night? He was shot 23 times. That's gangster shit. That's a hit. 23 shots. 23. This man got hit 23 times. I'm sure some bullets missed. So he had 23 penetrated pinpoints on his body. Come on, man. Come on, bro. But ain't no gangs in the city. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. And when you have leadership like that don't address the problems correctly, it's just a matter of time. Because I'm gonna tell you who breed criminals. Criminals breed criminals. When you have uneducated people out here on these streets, they need a team, and they go get the young kids and they push them away from school. They make school dumb and shit, and all that old shit. You don't need no damn school. I make $2,000. Here go $500. Go to the mall. They recruit kids. Now kids fall out of your school systems. Ed said, so will you go downtown Cincinnati, Wyatt? I probably would. I don't think downtown Cincinnati is as bad as Indianapolis. Will I go downtown during a certain time? And don't get it twisted now. I know my folks over the Rhine. I ain't too. If are we talking about Fountain Square? We talking about over the town? You know, downtown for me is shit. You know, that's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We could be talking about City West, all the way from City West down by Taft, all the way up through over the Rhine, circle it up to Fountain Square. This downtown, when you say downtown to me, that could be down on the banks. It could be everywhere. There's a couple places that I won't go because they don't care who you are. And if you're in the wrong place, even you could be from there. It don't matter. You could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm not going in over the Rhine after a certain time at night. No, not doing that. All right, that's just me. I ain't about to sit here and pump fake, what they say, pump fake twin. I'm not going to sit here and fake like I'm some Superman in the hood. That ain't what it is. No, hell no. Will I go on Fountain Square? Yeah, I'll go on Fountain Square. Will I go down on the banks at a certain time? At a certain time, kids don't respect. Oh, they'll look at me. I'm just an old head to them. They don't care nothing about that. I didn't try it years ago. I've tried. I put a lot of effort and money of my own into the youth of Cincinnati, and I didn't ask the city of Cincinnati for a dime. The mayor don't know me. None of the city council people know me. I ain't never solicited any of them for anything that I wanted to do for the community. I use them. I use my own pocket money, and anybody that know me know what I did. So no, I wouldn't. Yeah, there's certain areas I wouldn't go to, but most places I would, Ed. I'll be honest with you. I'm not afraid of downtown, but I know better to go certain places at certain times. Ed said, I'm just talking about Fountain Square and the banks or Washington Park. Ooh, Washington Park might be off the radar for me at a certain time. You feel me? Because I know what go on in Washington Park. So if that's what you're trying to get me to spit out, honest with you. Fame says, weirdest shit ever is that the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where the Indy 500 takes place, is the middle of the hood. It's like that in most cities. It's like that in most cities, to be honest with you, Fame. If you travel a little bit and go to some of these cities, go to Baltimore, go to some of these places, go to I mean, it's just like the college campuses. Most of their stadiums and all that shit is somewhere in the hood. It's somewhere near the hood. It's a block or two away from the hood. There's a lot of crime around a lot of places like that. If you go to certain areas in, NFL stadiums, Major League Baseball stadiums, if people get out more, they would notice. Yeah, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to be all sedity or no shit, but if you go to Cleveland, Ohio, did y'all know that first week in the NFL, I went to Cleveland? Y'all know I went to the game, right? I went to Cleveland, watched the Bengals beat the Cleveland Browns by an inch, just barely beat them. I walked through the flats, right? Got to my hotel and they shut everything down. Soon as you know how you walk through the hotel and it's spinning, the revolving door. As I'm going through the revolving door, I was the last one coming out. And it wouldn't revolve anymore. They shut it down. They shut the whole downtown down because there was a shooting down on the flats. It's no different. These cities are all, if you look at the makeup and the leadership of these cities, they are all the same. And they get the same results. And it's always certain cities that I have 50 communities, 52 communities, 40 communities. And not all the communities are all the same. There's just different mindsets and different things that's going on in all these different communities. And if you really want to solve a problem, you know what? If I seen a little guy in my class or a little girl in my class getting straight A's all the time, I would one day probably take the time to go over and say, hey, look, little Johnny, let me ask you something, bro. How do you always get A's, bro? What the hell do you do? I keep getting these C's and C minuses and damn motherfucking D's, bro. I just can't get this shit. What do you do to make it where you could get an A every time we take these quizzes? What is it? What's your study habits, bro? What is it that you do? That's information that, maybe he could pass on to me and I can get better grades. If you pattern yourself after some of the communities in some other cities or in these other neighborhoods, the same city, but different neighborhoods, you might get a different outcome too, because it might not be what you think it is. You have to come up with some hard ass, bald ass, really, really hard ass truth and say, it's the people. It's actually the freaking people. I mean, it ain't no system. It ain't no failure from a program. It's none of that shit. It's just the people. I mean, it's choices. You know, it's choices. The choices you make ends you up where you are. And if someone did not make the choice to teach you what you need to know, that still becomes a choice, whether it was yours or not. If your mom or your dad didn't stress the importance of education to you, it's not your fault. But it was somebody's choice to neglect you from something that could have made you better. And they, you know, maybe they didn't know it because their parent didn't know it. We can make up excuses and talk about this shit all day. But the bottom line is, here's what I like to say before I get out of here. I'd say this. There was a few girls that I grew up with down the way. One of them lived in over the Rhine. She was from downtown, but she lived over by Sycamore. She used to get caught stealing all the time. I ain't gonna say her name. I know she don't watch the show, but just out of respect. I had a really good relationship with her. We were buddies. We was cool. We wasn't like, we were cool. All right. But she used to get caught stealing all the time. And she was a badass little girl, right? She was bad, cute, but she was, I always knew that she, was a street girl. She was a street girl. She get caught stealing out of that, all that shit all the time. She ended up having a child at a young age. Now, how sad and all that shit sound. Let me tell you what her daughter, she had a girl. Let me tell you what her daughter did. Her daughter graduated from the University of Kentucky with a 4.3. Now, this was years ago, but her daughter graduated with a 4.3 at the University of Kentucky. Her daughter ended up going to, she graduated with a biology degree, same as my daughter's, and she ended up becoming a scientist. And then she went on to do these big things in medical school and things of that nature. And I'm saying to myself, how does a kid who grew up the way we grew up, who came from, pissy ass mattresses, how does a kid like that have a kid at 14, 15 years old? And that kid ended up going to the University of Kentucky, graduating from high school with a 4.0, going off to the University of Kentucky with a 4.0. This girl that I would love to say her name because she deserves the accolades of where her daughter ended up. Her daughter is nothing like she was. Her daughter is nothing how she was because her life, the mama chose to do these things, steal and do shit like that, become, hopping club to club, having a baby young and shit like that. She made bad decisions, but what she didn't do, she made sure that her daughter didn't make them same decisions. I'm so proud of my sister because she could have just shut down and, been one of them, if I ain't gonna be shit, you ain't gonna be shit either. I've seen this happen. I haven't to the extreme of seeing a 4.3 coming out of the University of Kentucky, becoming a doctor and stuff like that. I haven't seen that on a regular basis, but I've seen a lot of the girls that I grew up with who had babies at an early age go off and their kids are doing way better than what they did. And it happens more often than not, to be honest with you, but we don't talk about that. And, I just, I'm tired of every time you see us, we're always talking about or framing some type of stereotype. We either explaining how it ain't us, how this and this, and then that makes you run away from the truth. Because everything that you see is not necessarily true. But you can't say that we don't have a crime problem in the city of Cincinnati and we're not spearheading it and that we got a bunch of bullshit that's saying that it's cleaning it up. First, your leadership has to admit, not be forced to admit. They have to take on the admission themselves. They can't just, you can't just force their hand to say, hey, yeah, we do have a problem. They have to admit it. If I have to force you to admit to something that you know is going on and it's wrong, and I have to force you to say it, then that means you really don't care. You didn't really care. You just forced to now tell the truth. And I see that from leadership. A lot of people in leadership roles aren't, they're great. They speak, but they're for themselves. They're for themselves. I'm just cut from a different cloth. If I want to make change, I find a way to make change on my dime. I'm not trying to make change. I don't need your money to make the change. Sometimes people just create their own income. I ain't mad at them. I'm not mad at them at all. I'll get one more in before I get out of here because they've been holding for a long time. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Mr. Wyatt, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, Alethea? What's happening, sis?
Oh my gosh.
I
Guess
got
what?
30. I got a minute. Go ahead. What you got?
Okay, I'll make it quick for you. I know was going to go back a little bit because I actually was calling after, I believe it was Sierra.
Okay.
Had the question for you about going more national with your show and everything. And I think that'd be a great idea. So it's good that you're checking off with this call, because I was thinking of more of a platform kind of similar to how Shannon Sharp is, where you can kind of pre-record interviews, because you have a lot of connections, your tie collection, a lot of, style and flair that you have, and then a lot of the conversations that won't get interrupted, while you're live, because you have those too, which is awesome. But I was thinking more of a sit down interview style. I think you'll be great at that, getting it across YouTube.
I thank you for that, sis. Here's my problem with that. Okay, I'm not saying that I can't do it and it won't happen one day, but that type of stuff requires a lot of time.
I know.
Like to sit down, get schedules, get people into the studio, and see, my studio is in my home. So I mean, unless I do have an opportunity to do a build out. I have some property in the downtown Cincinnati area. Matter of fact, where the office is, where y'all went on one side. I have that building that I have. The other side is just, I'm not doing anything with that property there, and it has a great view of the downtown Cincinnati area.
We was just admiring that building, of how great it was structured, and the paint job and everything on it. Yeah,
thank you. It's a great building. And I have an area that I could use as a studio, but I don't know if I have the time to really put into it right now. Now I'm not that far away from retiring and being done with my busy schedule. So maybe here in the near future, I can do something like that. Sis, I would love to do it. I just don't really have, I don't have the time to do it right now because of my schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that. But when she asked that question, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great opportunity. Your listeners, your followers, and then I noticed that they bring more followers to you on some occasions, depending on topics and things like that.
Yeah.
You're engaging with more people. I'm starting to see more comments in the chat that's pertaining to topic versus off topic. Yeah, it'd be good transition for you to get that good following on YouTube. When you mentioned YouTube, I was like, oh yeah, and get your tie collection out there too.
Yeah, see, I don't have that many followers on YouTube because I don't promote it. I only have like 1,200, a little over 1,200 people that are part of it, but then on Facebook or something, there's like 7,000 people. But most of us, I look at the numbers and I'm like, I only get maybe 10 to 15% of my friendship list. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I haven't really pursued it. See, here's the thing, sis. I've been here. It'll be 6 years in March. I've never treated this as a business. Okay. I'm a little bit more aggressive when it comes down to treating things as a business. I would invest and I would do things. This isn't really a business for me. It's more like a hobby. It's an expensive toy. You see what it's like? It's a
but
hobby.
You're good at it,
Well, I'm
and that's
working
what I was
on it.
like. more of a sit down. You'll be fantastic. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge,
Well, I
things
appreciate
like
it.
that. And like I said, a lot of connections in the city of Cincinnati. Instead of them just trying to get in to you over 30 minutes or an hour, you can actually do a pre-recorded sample of videos. But I get it with the time and everything. But just to shout that out there to you. And one more thing before I hang up, because I know you got to go get the wife.
Yep. What's up?
With the T-shirt.
Yeah.
We're going to need you to put that on. We're going to need you to put that on with a thick pair of those socks that come up to your knees.
Oh, you trying to make me look like the picture?
And walk around in the house and enjoy yourself.
Do I need to go get me some
Star Wars shirt on?
Do I need to go get me some canvas Converse too and put them on?
Yes. Just get a good memory in it, know.
You know what, sis? I am gonna wear that shirt one day. I'm about to go to Miami right now, so I was gonna, today was a dress down day because I'm off. I had all intentions of leaving straight from here and getting on the road, so I had to be dressed and ready to go. But I am gonna rock that shirt one day. You
should. Your smile was so contagious in that picture, and even to see your mom, and that's the best part of our years. Even though we were struggling and trying to make it, that was the best part of our years. For our memories just was good. So I love you, big bro. You keep your head up, keep taking that wife out, enjoying her and letting her enjoy you.
All right, sis. I appreciate you.
And I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. I'll talk to you. All right, thanks for engaging. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's cool. What can I do to get us up out of here? I don't know. Anything quick, fast? What will we do? What is today? Friday, right? It's Friday. Let's see something here. Let me see if I have something for Friday before I get out of here. Let me see. We'll try this. We'll try this for Friday. All right, listen, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm well over my time. I need to get up out of here. I thought I was going to be Hush. What's up, girl? She said, just say bye. All right, I'll leave you something for Friday. Let me see. What can I do for Friday? Anybody have any ideas? How can I piece this out on Friday? Any ideas? Any ideas? She is going to kill me. Just got paid Friday night. I don't want to do that. And the reason why is because there's too many people, because of our stupid ass government, who did not get paid today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so pissed off at that right now that it really makes me angry to see that. It really makes me angry to see that. Let me see something. And AK-47 said fade to black. All right, maybe I'll do that. All right, listen. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'm about to get on the road. Talk to you guys Monday at 1:00. Same place, same time. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'm out.
Yo, Dave, you get the sticks. Slim, get the bass. Yo, are you ready to kick it? Here we go. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Can't hear myself, man. Turn them up. Turn it up just a little bit. Well, alright. Slim, give me a little bit of bass.
you, everybody.